Are you just so tired of that nagging shooting pain that runs down your leg? Well, then this video is for you. So today I'm addressing a condition called sciatica. It's a frustrating pain and it can make you feel like you're losing your freedom bit by bit. So what is sciatica? More specifically, what is sciatica in the elderly population? Well, sciatica isn't a disease itself, it's more like a symptom. Think of it like an alarm bell. You have this long nerve, the sciatic nerve, the longest one in the body. It starts in your lower back and runs through your hips and glutes and travels all the way down each leg. Now the symptoms can vary depending on which level of the lumbar spine, as well as which nerve root is affected. When something pinches or irritates that nerve, which in the elderly can happen from age-related changes like a herniated disc or spinal stenosis, or even just really tight muscles, sends out those pain signals. Shooting pain and tingling, the numbness. It's your body's alarm, and our goal is to gently and safely quiet down that alarm. Now, research tells us that sciatica in the elderly population is not only caused by herniated discs. In fact, most of the sciatic symptoms in this population is caused by degenerative disc disease known as spondylosis, which is the gradual onset of natural wear and tear on those discs leading to the narrowing of the disc space and spinal canal, which can also lead to chronic pain and stiffness in the lower back. This also means that generally in the elderly, the symptoms of nerve compression is less severe but more persistent. Thereby, our approach to treatment is going to be different than somebody with, let's say, a herniated or a slipped disc. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marius Visser. I'm a biokineticist at the Oncology Center, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple routine designed specifically for seniors to help you fight back against sciatica and reclaim your mobility. So before we get into fixing your sciatic pain, I would just like to say that over 85% of people that watch my channel are not subscribed to my channel. So hit that subscribe button and also put on the notification so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And also share this video with somebody that you feel it might benefit. So our first exercise we're going to be doing is a hip stretch. For some of you, the sciatica might be coming from an area called the piriformis. Sometimes not. It's very rare that it comes from the actual piriformis area known as piriformis syndrome, but it's also a contributor to lower back pain, and it could contribute to actually causing more compression in the lower back, and that is tight hips. So we're going to be doing a hip stretch. So you can be sitting on a chair or you can be sitting on the edge of your bed, as long as it's a nice firm surface. And what we do is we cross our one knee, and what we do is we cross our ankle on top of our opposite knee and make sure that our knee is as level to the ground as possible. And then from there, we're going to lean forward slightly. And as you lean forward, you should already feel a pull in the hips. And that's what I want you to feel. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax and feel how you're actually falling into the stretch. And we're going to hold this for anything from 20 to 30 seconds. And we hold for another 10. And I can feel this pulling very, very sharply in this glute. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And relax and come back nice and easy. We change legs, change the ankle over the opposite knee. And as I'm sitting up straight, I can feel this glute is already starting to pull. I haven't even started moving forward yet, and I can feel it is a bit tight today, but it's okay. We're going to take a deep breath in. And as I breathe out, I'm leaning slightly forward, and I can feel really, really good stretch in this glute area. And again, we're going to hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. As I said, you can do this in a chair, anywhere where you feel you've got a firm surface, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now, I'd like for you to repeat this on both sides, and we're going to get into it again, just because the first time your muscles are not used to the stretch, so they might contract and it might stop you from actually getting into that stretch. Now that your nervous system is a little bit more accustomed to the feel of the stretch, it's not as new or as novel for you anymore. The second stretch around, you're going to feel it's going to release a little bit more. Remember, as soon as we've got pain, lower back pain, whether it's sciatic pain, hip pain, our muscles tend to tighten up, go into a protective spasm. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to get out of that protective spasm because it's there for a reason. It's trying to protect you. And hold for 5, 4, 3. That's a good stretch. 2, 1, and change. Other side. So getting out of that protective stretch, we use our breathing, try and relax as much as possible. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. And I can really feel it's still pulling, but it's a little bit looser than the first time. I can actually move my chest more closer to my leg. And we just hold. And last 10, keep the breathing. Never try to hold your breath or try to tense up your body, because it is a little bit of a discomfort that you feel. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Now the next exercises, we're going to do them lying on our backs. And our next stretch is going to be for the posterior glute, or what we call a hip flexor stretch or a tight glute stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring one knee up, and we either can grab it on the outside of our knee or we can grab it behind the thigh like this. So let me show you what the one behind the thigh is. I'm going to interlace my fingers so that I can get a good grip, and then I'm going to move my other leg straight. And then I'm going to try and pull this knee as close to my chest as possible. And again, I'm going to use my breathing. I'm going to take a deep breath in and breathe out. And in and out. And let's hold for 10 more. And 5, 4, 3, keep pulling, 2, 1, and relax. Let's grab the other one. Grab it nice and easy behind there, and as soon as I get a good hold of it, I'm going to slip this leg down so that I can get a nice stretch on the opposite hip, as well as on the glutes in the back and also on the hips in the front, and we get a good stretch. Again, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as you breathe out, I want you to feel that you are pulling this knee closer and closer every time you exhale. And breathe out. It's moving. And last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's change on the other side again. This time I'm going to grab it on the outside, still interlacing my fingers around the knee. For those of you who maybe had a knee replacement, you won't be able to get it as close and compressed as that. You can use the one behind the thigh. I'm going to use this one because I feel I can push much more using this method than the other one. And hold. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out and just feel those muscles release. Breathe in and out and release more. And last 10. And 5, 4, 3. You might feel it starting to pull a little bit into the lower back area. That is fine. That's what we want. And change. Other side. Wait until you grab and pull, and then you straighten this leg and hold. And breathing and out. So it's not uncommon for you to feel the stretch moving into the lumbar area. That is actually what we want. And hold for last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So before we move into our next exercises, I want you to do a self-screen first. It is called a straight leg raise. We are going to pick up our leg and we are going to see whether we feel the nerve pain before a, let's say, between 30 and 70 degrees of leg flexion, trying to keep the leg as straight as you can. We're going to do this on both sides, and you are going to feel for yourself what is the sensation. Is it just hamstring tightness that you're feeling, or are you feeling the actual nerve pain running down the back and maybe into the shins or the calves or even under the foot? And what is it you're feeling? You're feeling the tingling sensation, you're feeling numbness. Let's see what we feel. There's different variations of this test that we use for our patients, but for you it's just a simple self-screen to see before and after the actual treatment or the therapeutic exercises that we are going to be doing with you today. So first we're going to get into our position again, and one way is to keep the one leg bent and the other one straight, and all we do is we pull our toes up to our shin, and from there we're going to lift up our legs as high as we can. Now ideally you want to get to a 90-degree angle in the hip, which is quite normal. You'll feel the hamstring pulling, that is also normal. But if you feel anything else before 70 degrees, so from there to approximately there, if you're starting to feel the nerve pulling down the back of the glutes, or maybe coming across here and going into the calf and the foot, that is actually a positive test for sciatica. So you can try this on both sides. Keep the legs straight while this one is nice and bent, and we just lift up. Usually this is done passively, but now we're doing an active straight leg raise. You can still feel if there is symptoms coming down the back, you will still feel whether you actually feel the nerve. Maybe you feel it on both sides, maybe you just feel it on the one side and the other side is fine. You just feel hamstring tightness on the one side. That is a good sign. What you don't want to feel is the nerve pain at approximately 70 degrees. That's usually a positive test for sciatica. So now we're going to use that. We're going to put that in the back of our minds. That is now our pre-test. And when we move on to our next exercise, which is called a pelvic tilt. And from here, we're going to keep our feet on the bed or on the floor, nice and flat. And then from there, I want you to visualize you are tilting your pelvis backwards, pulling the belly button in and rolling your pelvis as if you're pushing your lumbar spine into the ground. Now, I don't want you to lift like that. Now, I only want you to use the muscles on the inside of your stomach. In other words, you're going to be pulling back, getting active of that transverse abdominis, sometimes the obliques, and forward again. I can actually feel it cramping right deep inside, and it's pulling on my lumbar spine. I'm flexing my spine forward, and I'm rolling back. I've got very, very light pressure on my heels, but I'm tilting my pelvis back. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Wow, it cramps. You're starting to cramp here. We're going to go again. We're going to do this 5 times. That's number 3. Roll back, breathe out. Keep that belly button tucked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Okay, and relax. 2 more, and roll. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, and 1 more time. Every time I come back, I want you to feel that you've got a little bit of a hollow lower back, and then we roll back, making sure it's flat. You can't fit anything in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Then we rest, and we're going to do another 5. So for our next exercise is called a nerve glide. Now this one might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it is very, very necessary for our next phase of our rehabilitation process. So we're going to get into position, and I'm going to grab 1 foot flat, and I'm going to grab behind my knee again like that, and I'm just going to relax. I want your arms to be straight. I don't want you to be pulling your knee back towards yourself. I want you to actually keep your arms nice and relaxed and fingers interlaced, and my leg nice and relaxed. Now from there, you're going to be straightening your knee as far as you can. It doesn't have to go all the way straight. And then I want you to pull your toes towards your shin like that. Okay, and then once you've got that tension, you just release the foot again, keeping the knee in the same position and pulling up that toe, and you're going to feel the nerve pulling all the way down right into the buttocks. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. 1, and relax. Nice and easy. 2, that's it, and relax. It's called flossing the nerve. 3, and 2 more. 4, that's it, and last one, and 5, and relax. We're going to place this one down, and we're going to do the other side, interlocking my fingers, keeping the leg nice and relaxed, and I'm going to straighten, and I'm going to be taking my toe towards my shin. Oh, that pulls. That's really, really putting the nerve on full stretch. So what this does is it actually glides the nerve through that area of the lumbar spine where it is impinged, and it's just freeing up a little bit of that nerve there. 3, let's go for 2 more. 4, and last one, and 5. There we go, and relax. And we're going to go again on this side. Straighten the leg, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, and 5. Good. 1 more time on this side. And let's go. 1, and 2. Oh, that hurts. 3, but it's a good pain. 4, and last one. I don't know what good pain means. And 5. That's it. Good. And relax. So our last exercise we're going to be doing is for our thoracic spines. We're going to be loosening up our thoracic spines. It's going to feel like it's a lumbar stretch, but it's not as much a lumbar stretch as it is a thoracic stretch. And from here, we're going to get onto our backs, feet together, knees bent, feet flat. And from there, we're going to keep our shoulders on the bed, and we're just going to drop our legs to the one side, come back to the middle, and drop towards the other side. So we're keeping our shoulders on the floor and feeling the rotation moving all the way up our spines and back and go. 4 and back and 5. So you can either put your hands out like that, 5, and just relax. You might even stop in one position if it feels it's very tight on the one side. Stop in that position, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as you breathe out, you'll feel the hips drop a little bit further, and then we come back nice and slow. Keep some tension on the spine. Breathe out and come back. And let's go for 5 more. 1 and breathe out, in and out. 7, last 3, breathe in and out. 8, 9, and last 1, and 10. And we can also repeat this for 2 sets of 10 or 15 on each side. And again, we can just put our one leg out and see whether we feel a little bit different than what we've started. Okay, and there we go. 5 exercises that you can do in 5 minutes that's going to give you relief for your sciatic pain. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below and tell me how your exercises are going. See you next time.